Hey guys, I was able to get my hands on a copy of the book 50 Things Every Young Gentleman Should Know by John Bridges and Brian Curtis. It has 50 tips on how to be a gentleman, and I want to share a few of them with you in this video. The first one I want to talk about is accepting a compliment. Most people don't know how to accept a sincere compliment. Moreover, they insult the other person while accepting it. When someone says to you, "Hey, I really like your suit," the thing to do here is to say, "Thank you, nice that you noticed it." Most people do it all wrong. I bet you already heard responses like, "Oh yeah, I usually don't like suits, I only wear this one because today at work I had to go to a special meeting." By saying that, you have indirectly insulted the taste of the other person who gave you the compliment. People will feel much better if you give them a short and sincere thank you. The next one is, say please. This usually goes without saying, but many people tend to forget that this is not only a nice gesture, but it can also be a useful tool. Do you remember when you were a child? How often did you get something that you were not supposed to get only by saying please? Of course, today the cuteness of being a 3-year-old is gone, but the power of the word is not. Start saying please every time you are asking someone to do something. Don't assume just because other people are doing their jobs that you don't have to show appreciation. I think especially people who do a job in which they provide people with a service deserve and value a simple please a lot. Knowing when to keep your mouth shut. This one seems quite difficult for many. Of course, we know to not intentionally make others feel bad by saying something inappropriate. But this one is also about not making others accidentally feel bad by being inattentive. Knowing when to keep your mouth shut is about being smart. For example, use discretion when talking about an upcoming party if you aren't sure if that person has been invited or is on good terms with the host. Say something like, "I heard there is an upcoming party at Jenny's place." And then wait for the other person to give you hints if he or she likes the party, the host, or if he or she has been invited. And after that, you can much better decide if it is a good idea to share your excitement or to keep your mouth shut. Learn how to shake hands. If you know how to do this right, it can come in quite handy because it really impresses older people. So if you know how to do this correctly, you can impress people in a job interview or when you have to introduce yourself to the parents of your girlfriend. The thing with handshakes is that you have to wait for the older person to stick out their hand before you stick out yours. And then of course give them a firm but painless handshake with a couple of firm pumps. And many people don't know this. If your hands are dirty or sticky because you wiped some coffee or soda away with it, or if they are still wet because you washed them, don't rub your hands on your jeans 2 seconds before the handshake. The thing to do here is to just explain the other person why you can't do the handshake. It's totally okay to say, "I can't shake hands because I have just used them to wipe off some spilled coffee." Accepting a gift you don't like. How to do this as a gentleman. There are really two kinds of people when it comes to receiving underwear, handmade socks or ugly sweaters for Christmas. The first kind of person says, "Thank you." The other person claims to be truly excited by the ugly sweater and immediately tries it on. The correct thing to do is the first one. Say thank you for any gift you receive. Most people get if your excitement is fake. Furthermore, never ask, "Where did you get this from?" Clever people will immediately get that. This is a thing people who don't like a present usually say to divert the fact that they don't like the gift. Winning and losing well. This is very simple and you can often see athletes doing it. For example in tennis, if you win, you go up to your opponent and say "good game." And if you lost, you also go up to your opponent and say "good game." Sometimes when people win they say things like, "Ha, I got you." Even if you two are friends, this can hurt the other person. And also when people lose, they often say things like, "I could have done better," or "It is just because of my tennis racket, otherwise I would have won clearly." The correct thing to do here is to acknowledge that the other person has won, and don't try to justify your loss. Hey guys, in the next weeks we're going to do something special, and I will release a bunch of really interesting and useful special videos for you. So make sure to subscribe to not miss them, and be a gentleman and do something nice today. Thanks for watching and see you next week.